I'm Joanna DeCellis, editor of Club and Resort Chef. Today I'm here with Michael Matarazzo, the executive chef of Farmington Country Club. Thanks for joining us today,
Thanks
Chef.
for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm at Farmington Country Club. I'm the executive chef. It's in Charlottesville, Virginia. My wife is also a chef, and we have two boys that are 5 and 7. And we love living in Charlottesville and happy to be down here in Charlotte for a few days.
Tell us about Farmington Country Club. What's the scope of the club?
So Farmington is a multi-venue operation. We have 2 restaurants. It is primarily a golf club, so 18 holes of golf and a 9-hole practice range. Big tennis population there, and then food and beverages, the 2 restaurants, banquet operation. We have a food truck at the club, and outdoor pool in the summertime. So kind of your typical layout, but a very busy club, active membership.
So you said your wife is also a chef.
She is.
A culinary family you've got there.
Absolutely.
What do you love about being a chef?
I love serving people, and that's something that I think my wife and I struggle with when we go out, because we are so used to serving people that it's difficult to be served. But I think just providing an experience for people and, hospitality in general.
What do you think some of the biggest challenges are facing the club industry?
I think some of the biggest challenges that I see with the club industry is, obviously recruiting overall in the entire industry is a problem. So that is something that, I'm taking a big interest in. And I think just the perception, of the club industry is, probably needs some better marketing so that people, really see it as a really great, viable opportunity for a career that you can serve people and have a lot of resources. And so, I think I'd like to see kind of more of an awareness of the possibilities of a career in the club industry.
What do you say to people who look at our industry and don't want to work the hours?
It's kind of tough right now, because I feel like there is kind of an imbalance with the lifestyle associated with being in the kitchen. And, right now it's kind of you either are into that or you're not. And to those people, all I can say right now is, find the right place that's going to treat you well for those hours. And when you do, the more you grow, the more you can kind of tailor your lifestyle at work to be more beneficial.
You have an amazing relationship with your general manager at Farmington.
Yeah, I do.
And you achieve a pretty good work-life balance. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
It's support is important. Support from upper management is important, and our general manager is really incredible with that. So work-life balance is kind of the million-dollar topic, and how do you achieve that in any industry, let alone ours? For me, I just really try to first cultivate a team that allows me the ability to have, confidence not being at work and spending time with my family. That's huge, because if you don't have that support at work and a team that's competent and that you trust, it's going to be difficult to get away. And I feel like I have that. I'm really proud of the team that I've been able to build there. And then, use that advantage to schedule yourself for the important things, fitness and, spending time with your kids. And, you really just have to sit down with a pen and paper and carve it out.
Now, you recently took the CMC exam.
I did.
How was that? What was that like for you?
I would say that I kind of took the CMC exam, right? So I went to the CMC exam, and I took the first 2 days. And it was a very unique experience for me, because I had some issues that, after reflecting, kind of boiled down to me not being very self-aware and mentally aware of what I was doing to myself in the process. So I think that I could have gone about the journey a little bit differently. So for me, it was still a very positive experience, because at the end, I learned a whole lot about myself. And of course, I became a better cook during the journey. But just learning more about myself and what my limits are mentally and physically, and how I might go into something like that in the future in a different way.
How has that impacted you as a chef?
It's given me, pause in my life where I think we're programmed as chefs to just keep going and going and going, burning the candle at both ends. It's allowed me to stop myself when I feel a certain way, and really, either talk it out with somebody or just kind of go over it in my head and say, how am I feeling right now? And it's really taught me how to manage my brain and cope with the stresses of life and the industry.
Have you taken that back to your club and worked with your team on the same kind of journey?
Yeah. So and I've been very open with my team about what I went through there, because I want everybody to learn from that. So yeah, we've had meetings. We generally have a weekly sous chef meeting, and we've talked about the importance of being open with each other and realizing that we're all in this together, and we're a family. We can't just use the word family at lunchtime. It's family meal, but how much of the rest of the day are they family? So we really kind of started focusing on that and focusing on how people feel and what we could do to make it more comfortable.
How does your general manager play into all of that?
He's just like endless support. He is like a unicorn in the club world. And I say that all the time, but it's true. It's just he's supportive of what we want to do. Our overall philosophy is to hire great people who hire great people and let them do their jobs, and he's really good at that.
So what's next for you?
Professionally, I'm not really sure. I'm really happy at Farmington. A lot of people want to know if I'm going to take the test again, and I don't know. Next for me really is to focus the need for mastery in other areas of my life. Mm-hmm. And my hope is to be able to give the same amount of effort into my family, my job, and myself all together at the same time, instead of trying to use the word balance. I want to get good at every part of my life and not just focus solely on food. So I'm learning how to do that.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given in your journey as a chef?
Well, I'm going to give you two because it's toss-up. So the first one is to always try to follow great chefs until one day people are trying to follow you. Mm-hmm. And, I think that speaks to trying to leave a legacy behind and influence people. The other one piece of advice that I would give is to focus on the journey and not the outcome or the end result. I think positive things will come if you put the effort into the journey, but it's the journey that holds the value and has the things that you can really take away from.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what would you say has been your biggest mistake? What have you learned the most from over the course of your career?
I feel like I've just learned the value of relationships, and people. It's all about people. Life is full of people. So I've learned not to forget where I came from and to realize that what we do as chefs is, we're not saving lives. We're cooking dinner for people. Yeah. And that's cool. It's great for us that we are able to do something we're passionate about. But at the end of the day, none of that is possible without the people that are around to help it happen. So that's a big takeaway for me.
What has been the value in, you said earlier, your wife is also a chef. Mm-hmm. So that probably makes your dynamic really unique and interesting. What has it been like to have a chef support you through this process as your wife?
So it's great. She gets it.
Yeah.
And she's a supportive person by nature. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she knows we have very similar training, she knows, what I'm going through, and I understand what she's going through, and we can really sympathize and empathize with each other a lot better. Now it comes time to cooking at home, it's not without its small cheap shots on techniques, but she is, I've always said it, and she thinks I'm lying, but now it's on tape. She is way more knowledgeable about food than I feel I have ever been. So I think she's one of the most talented chefs that I know, and we're good.
Who do your kids prefer to cook? You or
her?
Who
do they prefer to cook? I think they prefer her for just about everything. So I'm going to say her.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Chef.
You.
I appreciate it. For more videos like this, check out our website, www.clubandresortchef.com.